Okay, so for the half angle identities, whatever this angle is right here, when you plug it into the identity, you have to double it because this isn't on the unit circle. So here are the steps. Step 1, identify the quadrant. Identify the quadrant. So we know it's in the first quadrant. Then you're going to write the identity. Identity, I have to spell that correctly. Okay, so now watch. The cosine half angle identity is positive or negative 1 plus cosine, and you guys have that note sheet, so you don't have to have that memorized, over 2. Okay, so now we identified that it's in quadrant 1. This angle right here, 75 degrees, is cosine positive or negative in the first quadrant. So that's what tells you, oh, we're using the plus sign, not the negative sign. All right? So far, you doing that much, that's some points. But now you have to double. What is 2 times 75?
150.
Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to say positive. You're going to say 1 plus cosine, because 150 is on the unit circle, and you will have just filled out the unit circle. So when you look at the unit circle, 150 is right here. So I'm going to do this over here. 150 is 5 pi 6. Cosine is negative root 3 over 2. Did you guys see that on your unit circle? Root 3 over 2. All right, I'm going to erase this because I have to keep writing. So now we're going to replace this step right here. I'll just rewrite it right here. 1 plus negative root 3 over 2, and then all of that is still over this 2 right there. Now, step 3 was replace theta with 2 times 75 degrees. Okay? So we did that, we replaced that. Step 4 would be find cosine of 150 degrees. That equaled negative root 3 over 2, and substitute. And before you guys leave today, I'll have that up on YouTube. So, all right. So now we're just substituting 1 plus negative root 3, or you could just write 1 subtract root 3 over 2. This is 1 plus something that has a denominator. How do I rewrite 1 that has 2 in the denominator? 2 over 2. So I will use black. So 1, I'm going to rewrite as 2 over 2. Well, now that those denominators are the same, I can rewrite this as 2 subtract root 3. They share the same denominator, so this denominator right here. And now look at, we have all of that is over 2. And that's still all underneath the radical sign. How do I get rid of this 2 in the denominator? If you write it 2 over 1, how do you cancel a 2 over 1? Yep, you're going to multiply, but then you have to multiply this numerator by 1 over 2. What's this 2 times this 2? Okay, so now we have positive 2 subtract root 3 all over 4. What's the square? So that's like saying the square root of this and the square root of the numerator, square root of the denominator. What's the square root of 4? 2. So now we have the square root of 2 subtract root 3 over, no longer in the denominator, no longer under a radical sign, and that is cosine of 75 degrees. It's not. If you type into your calculator, because it does, it looks like it should be negative, but if you type in square root, so square root, and then it'll give you left parentheses, 2 subtract, and then do second, do the square root of 3. So left parentheses 3. You're going to have to do right parentheses, enter.
0.51.
Positive number. A positive over a positive because cosine is positive in first quadrant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that.